A Powell County pastor who is accused of abusing 2 girls in his church is appearing in court for the first time. His attorney and friend is defending him. Coming up.
A Lexington man convicted in a 2011 deadly shooting gets out of prison after serving less than half his sentence. The victim's widow calls the way that she found out heartbreaking.
Coming up, 2 fire departments respond to a house fire in Estill County, and firefighters say getting the flames out wasn't their only challenge.
This is WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Rebecca Smith. Barbara Bailey has the day off.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. A Central Kentucky pastor who is accused of sexually abusing 2 girls faced a judge for the first time this morning. Steve Williams' lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf during that hearing in Powell County.
Williams is a minister at Bowen First Church of God. Police say he's also a school bus driver and a volunteer firefighter. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Stanton with the latest on the case. It's our top story at noon.
Steve Williams was in a position of authority and trust as a minister and a school bus driver. Now he's accused of using his power to abuse 2 girls who went to his church. His attorney and longtime friend says that the disturbing allegations don't match up with the 52-year-old's character. Williams did not say much during his video arraignment this morning. His attorney spoke for him, entering a not guilty plea for his charges of first-degree sexual abuse. According to deputies, the 52-year-old minister touched a girl inappropriately during a church field trip and abused a second girl in the church. He resigned from the Bowen First Church of God on Friday. The pastor was viewed as a public servant and community helper because he worked as a Middle Fork volunteer firefighter and he was a bus driver for Powell County Schools. He is now in the Clark County Detention Center. Deputies think Williams is being held there because he had a jail ministry at the Powell County Jail. His attorney, Jerry Patton, says that's who Williams really is, someone who's always willing to help, not hurt others. Did Williams ever have any position of authority or trust over your own children?
No, actually not. We attended a different congregation, different church.
Would you have trusted him with that?
I would have. Yes, I would have. Based on his reputation, absolutely.
We asked Williams if he wanted to talk about his side of the story, but he did not want to talk from jail. He will be back in court next Tuesday for a bond hearing and a preliminary hearing. In Powell County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, deputies say if any other victims come forward, more charges will be filed against Williams.
A Lexington man who was convicted of manslaughter in 2012 has been released from prison after only serving 4 years of his sentence. Mike Reeder was serving a 10-year sentence for shooting 29-year-old Jimmy Music outside a gas station on Eastland Drive in 2011. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy has reaction from the victim's widow.
Mike Reeder went in front of the parole board back in February, and at the time, they deferred his parole 24 months. Yesterday, he was released under mandatory re-entry supervision. Reeder was convicted back in 2012 for a 2011 shooting. Lexington police say Reeder shot and killed Jimmy Music near a Shell gas station, a short drive away from the Office Lounge bar on Eastland Parkway, where police say the two originally met. A jury convicted Reeder of second-degree manslaughter. The conviction came with a 10-year sentence. Reeder served less than half. Prison leaders released him under mandatory re-entry supervision yesterday.
There was no warning. There was no anything. It was an email that said he's been released today. And if you fear for your safety, call 911. That's what we got.
Leslie Music says that she was not prepared for his release, especially given the fact that we are just a few days away from Christmas. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And Music says that Reeder served 4 years and 8 months of his 10-year sentence.
Firefighters are trying to figure out the cause of an early morning fire in central Kentucky. That fire broke out around 6 in the morning on Millers Run Road in Estill County. It took crews about an hour and a half to put out the flames. As our Mike Byer reports, they faced some challenges due to the location of the home.
Just after 6 a.m., Estill County and Hargett fire departments responded to a house fire in Ravenna, and firefighters say getting the flames out was only half the battle. The fire happened at a home in the 2000 block of Millers Creek Road in Estill County. When first responders arrived, they say the back of the house was fully engulfed in flames. Firefighters tell us it took them roughly an hour to get the fire out. Luckily, there was no one home and firefighters were able to avoid injury. The home is a total loss. Meanwhile, Estill County Fire Chief Derek Muncie tells us putting out the flames wasn't the only dilemma they faced. He says because of where the house sits, they had to block off one lane of the road and make a call to CSX Railroad.
The biggest issue was actually getting to it. It's got a little road, but our trucks wouldn't fit to it. So we actually had to shut down the railroad tracks, put a line across the tracks and stuff.
Now investigators say they aren't sure what caused the fire, especially because there was no active electricity in the home. However, with that said, Chief Muncie says he has his own suspicions as to how the fire started. In Estill County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. The railroad track has reopened. This is the second fire in 2 days that firefighters have had to battle out in Estill County.
Most of that rain we saw earlier today has pushed on out of the bluegrass for now. We've even seen some peaks of sunshine, but another round of showers and storms, some of which could be severe, will be back in the forecast for tomorrow. Let's go to WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell live in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, we've got a lot to track here over the coming days. Showers still holding on in parts of eastern Kentucky, a little bit of mist. That's about all they have to deal with. But we also have the potential for showers and thunderstorms getting fired back up as we go into the day tomorrow, starting with a morning round and then another late in the day. That one, which could be severe. And then you throw this in the middle of all of it, the potential to get to record-breaking warmth almost every single day in this forecast. There's just a couple where it comes up a little bit short. Check that out all the way through until we get into next week. It is an action-packed forecast, also with showers and thunderstorms each and every single day there. So think about it. Today's the first day of winter, the first 24-hour period of it at least. You've got record heat potential today. You've got severe thunderstorms likely tomorrow and more rain chances leading right into Christmas. Very un-Christmas-like out there. We'll track all of the other details coming up for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. And really, the weather's wild all around the country. Snow is pummeling parts of the west and the Pacific Northwest, but the Midwest and the Northeast are experiencing these record highs.
Temperatures today will be in the 50s and 60s and expected to get even warmer as we near Christmas. Jerika Duncan is in New York's Central Park with the latest.
It's beautiful today, absolutely incredible.
At 52 degrees in Buffalo, it was beautiful enough for waders and walks in the park. In a city that was slammed by 7 feet of lake-effect snow last year, temperatures this week are more likely to inspire long walks on the beach.
That's certainly right. Look at Buffalo on Wednesday, up to 61 degrees, one of many record highs that could be set from the Great Lakes down to the Ohio Valley. The focus on Christmas Eve moves to the Northeast and down to the Mid-Atlantic. Numerous record highs. We're talking 60s and 70s, the warmest Christmas Eve anyone alive has seen in that area.
More than 2,600 record high temperatures have been tied or broken across the lower 48 states this month. In Washington, D.C., cherry blossoms arrive months ahead of schedule.
But it doesn't feel like Christmas yet.
But nowhere is this tale of two climates more obvious than the ski slopes. This Connecticut resort can't even keep the fake snow from melting. While in Colorado, the real snow just keeps coming. Skiers there are enjoying being on the edge of a much larger cold weather band, stretching from Park City up to Spokane.
Well, this is a tale of west versus east, and we're just watching to see if it's possible that the stormy and snowy conditions out west will eventually come east or not.
And meteorologists say this unseasonably warm, beautiful weather is because of the El Nino factor. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
Well, it is the first full day of winter in the Northern Hemisphere, making today the shortest day of the year, followed by the longest night.
Extra minute or two of sleep tonight. All right. Voters in one northern Kentucky county are heading to the polls today, and they're deciding whether to allow full alcohol sales. Right now, only 5 restaurants serve alcohol in Grant County. Current law limits alcohol sales to restaurants seating at least 100 people, and at least 70% of the receipts for those businesses have to come from food. There are no liquor stores, and beer is not sold at convenience stores. Today's vote could change that, and the results, of course, after the polls close at 6 this evening. Well, online shopping has reportedly hit an all-time high this holiday season, and with Christmas now being just 3 days away, many of those packages will start arriving on those doorsteps this afternoon.
The company predicts more than 34 million packages will be delivered today. That's double the amount of a normal day. The UPS facility in Louisville hired about 1,500 workers to help get through the holiday season.
We're looking probably about 2.5 million pieces that we'll process here in Moorport on the 22nd and the 23rd, and about 190 inbound and outbound aircraft.
UPS is the biggest carrier for the top 40 online retailers, making 63% of deliveries this year.
Well, the case against suspected Army deserter Sergeant Bo Bergdahl is moving forward. We'll have the latest from his court hearing in North Carolina next on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also, President Barack Obama shares a Corvette and conversation with Jerry Seinfeld. We'll show you about the latest drive into pop culture on WKYT News at noon.